All right, everyone, let's talk about the big one. And I wanted to give you guys some super important information about PEN Blackstar. If you ever decide in the future on your account to do PEN Blackstar attempts, you're going to want to make sure to do things right because of how expensive going for this item is. Not only is it super expensive, but just even each attempt for a small chance to get this item is incredibly expensive. As you guys can see here, the actual cron cost, if you cron it, and you're going to want to cron PEN Blackstar basically all the time. There are so few exceptions that I'll just say as a generalization. Everyone watching this video, if and when you do go for PEN Blackstar attempts, unless something crazy has happened and you're watching this video years down the line, you're going to want to be cronning your PEN Blackstar, and you're looking at a cost of 3,670 crons per attempt, and that's just for a small single-digit chance in order to get one. This item is huge. It's probably the most desirable endgame item, and you're looking at a price tag on NA of minimum about 90 to 100 billion silver, and on EU, because of the value of cron stones, you're probably looking at a price tag of 150, 200 plus billion silver. I don't think you can ever find people really even selling it because of the price cap on the market. Point being, this item is big, it's very valuable, it's expensive to even try to go for it, and you want to make sure to do it properly or you're going to end up losing a lot of silver in certain scenarios that you don't need to. So let's talk about it. I will also say as well, obviously for the video, we're not going to be doing any clicks, all my enhancing, all that sort of stuff. We do tons of enhancing basically every day, including PEN Blackstar. We've done, I think 4 clicks so far at the time of me recording this video, many more to come in the future. So, if you guys are interested in actually seeing my enhancing attempts, definitely check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/salt, link in the description and whatnot. But for the videos, I like to keep it purely informational and break down all the stuff that you're going to want to do in an informational format. So let's get to the important stuff. And of course, the most important is going to be the fail stack level. This is really important. And I will even say right here, this is kind of like the absolute bare minimum that I would ever click PEN Blackstar on. And I'll also tell you guys, personally, I'm a little unsatisfied with this fail stack level. Now, I know some people might be like, what? That's crazy. 230, that's a big fail stack. How could you be unsatisfied with that fail stack level for PEN Blackstar? I see plenty of people out there clicking PEN Blackstar with, 200, even less than 200. And I'll say this, that people doing that, they're YOLOing it. It's not a mathematical good idea to click PEN Blackstar below this fail stack. In fact, even this fail stack level is too low. I would like to personally get it up to 260, 270, 280, as close to 300 as possible. That's going to be more in line with what you want to try to go for your PEN Blackstar attempts. Now, I know this is one of those things where it's a much easier said than done, which is why I wanted to guide you guys through the process on how to actually build a fail stack properly so that you don't end up making a mistake of losing your big fail stack. Because when you are pushing for a higher fail stack level, obviously, if you're trying to go for something like, as close to 300 as possible, there's a good amount of the chance that, or a good amount of the time that you're going to end up succeeding your enhancement and you're going to end up getting, like a PEN boss gear, and you're going to lose your fail stack. And of course, happy that you get that PEN boss gear. But, if you're close to a 300 fail stack, at that point, you're probably trying to get the fail stack levels more so than you are the boss gear. You want to make sure that you always have a backup plan in case something like that happens. You don't lose your only workable fail stack so that you can no longer do PEN Blackstar attempts. You want to put yourself in a good situation like that. Also, you want to put yourself in a situation where you really aren't YOLOing it with a really, really, really low fail stack, like under 200, because I'll show you guys right now just how big of a difference that makes in terms of the actual cost. Now, if we take a look at the amount of crons that this is going to take on average in order to succeed, if we take a look at the fail stack that I have right here, which is 230, we're looking at a 4.8% chance of success. That means with a 4.8% chance of success, on average, it's going to take us about 20.83, pretty close to 21 attempts on average in order to end up getting a PEN Blackstar. Now remember, that's just the average. Sometimes people get RNG carried. Sometimes people click on low fail stack levels and they get it. But, you want to rely on luck as little as possible when it comes to this stuff because, it's always just safe to assume that you're going to not be lucky, and you want to put yourself in the spot. If I'm not lucky, what can I do to give myself the best chances anyway, instead of just praying that I get RNG carried? So, if we look at a 230 stack, 4.8% chance, we're looking at roughly, 20.8 attempts. Now, if we go to a stack that's probably closer to like a lot of the highlight videos that you'll see people do, a lot of people who YOLO it, it's probably going to be closer to 200. And even the difference between a 230 fail stack, which is what I currently have, and a 200 fail stack, you can see that there's a pretty significant drop off in the chance to succeed. You go all the way from a 4.8% chance to succeed all the way down to a 4.2%. Now, that might not really seem like a whole lot, but remember how unbelievably expensive every single attempt at PEN Blackstar is. It is super costly. You're looking at almost 4 billion in cron stones on NA, and on EU, that's probably closer to 7 to 8 billion in cron stones for every single attempt. So if you can cut off, such a huge amount just by 30 fail stack levels right there, I mean, that is going to save you an insane amount of money in the long term. Now, again, RNG carried, it happens, but you want to still try to be making those smart decisions when you can. So looking at it that way, if you see here, with the fail stack of 230, we have a 1 in 20.8, so roughly 1 in 21 times we'll end up getting the PEN Blackstar. And now if we drop down all the way to a 200 stack, you can see that now basically it goes from a 1 in 21-ish to a 1 in 24 chance. So just those 30 fail stack levels adds basically 3 additional attempts on average to our PEN Blackstar. So that's 3 extra clicks on average in order to get it, and a cost of 3,670 cron stones each. That's an average of almost 11,000 extra cron stones that you're going to have to spend on PEN Blackstar clicks if you end up using a 200 fail stack instead of a 230. That's a lot of extra cron stones. That's like 11 billion on NA, 22 billion on EU. You can see how just those 30 fail stack levels right there make a very, very big difference. Now, with that being said, what can you do in order to effectively gain these really big fail stacks? Well, I'll say, and I hate to say it because even this is something that I am struggling very, very hard to do so. One of the best ways to get a really high fail stack, I'm saying it, guys, 30,000 quests. The Rule of Peace Travelogue. I'm just going to mention this quickly because I know that that's just super unrealistic for so many people, including myself. 30,000 quests is a nightmare, guys. I'm sorry, but it's awful. It really is. Like, it is a grueling effort to get to 30,000 quests, but it is unfortunately one of the better ways to do so. If you can put in the 500 to 600 hours of questing, that's a really, really nice reward and absolutely phenomenal stack for PEN Blackstar. It is going to save you tens and tens of billions of silver on average using a stack like that. So if you really want to min-max your enhancing and go for maximum efficiency, that's actually crazy enough, probably going to be one of the better ways to get a stack like that. Now that we have that out of the way though, because I know it's not really realistic for most people to do 30,000 quests, including myself, let's talk about the other method, the much more common method, which is pushing a fail stack and how you're going to want to do so. And I actually have an example here on my account. You guys can actually see with my fail stack levels. This is the method that I use on my live stream. And what you're going to want to do is you're really going to want to put yourself in a spot where no matter what happens, you always have at least like one reasonable fail stack. You don't want to push a fail stack into the, level 200s, and then your only other fail stack is like, level 100, level 110 or whatever. Because then if you do succeed, then you have absolutely nothing else to work with and you basically have to start all over. So basically what you want to do is from 110 to, I would even say 200, you can just go ahead and click on boss gear normally. 110 is generally the minimum starting point for PEN boss gear attempts. If you have Blackstar, you can work on Blackstar. 140, 170 is kind of the stopping point for TET Blackstar, not PEN Blackstar. This is for TET Blackstar. And, basically you're just going to be clicking boss gear normally like you would, and get up to, around 200 or so. Now, 200 is not that super high. It's higher, but there's a huge difference between like 200 and 300. Like, you're going to end up getting a fail stack level of 200 a good amount of the time if you just click on boss gear, and you fail. Like, it's going to happen. You're going to get to 200 fail stack levels more often than you're going to succeed and get a piece of PEN boss gear. Now, once you get to 200 though, that's going to be the point that I would say, like, stop and restart your fail stack back at 110 and kind of save that 200 stack as an emergency, as a backup. You really still don't want to click on PEN Blackstar with the 200 stack if you really don't have to. If you've got your Jay's hammer still and they're going to expire, that's a different story there. Make sure that you use those before they expire, even if it means clicking on a 200 stack. But, besides that, it's really not ideal to click on PEN Blackstar with the 200 stack. Now, once you do end up getting to 200 or so, you're basically going to want to start over back at 110. Click on boss gear, click on PEN Blackstar up to 140, 170, whatever gear you have that works for you, and get up to 200 again. And basically what you want is you want to find yourself at a spot where you have 2 stacks at about level 200. And then at that point, basically you're going to want to do what I have right here. As you guys can see on this character, I have the fail stack that I just showed you, which is the 231 fail stack. And then on this character, I have my backup fail stack, which is now at level 195. I actually had a higher one, but I lost it. And the thing is, this is why I'm explaining this, is because even though I lost one of my big fail stacks, I still have this one to work with, the 231, right? Always put yourself in a situation where even if you succeed and you lose your fail stack, if you're trying to go for PEN Blackstar, you have another fail stack to work with. So once you get 2 stacks to around level 200, what you're going to want to do is ideally push them both at the same time, as close to one attempt on one attempt on the other as possible. That would obviously be ideal, but if you want to do like a couple of attempts on one and then switch to the other and do a couple on the other, basically what you want is you want to put yourself in a scenario where you have 2 fail stacks and kind of like, you know, you're going up on one a little bit, then you're going up on the other, then you're going up on one, then you're going up on the other. And this puts yourself in a scenario where if one of them does succeed and you actually hit the piece of PEN boss gear and you get your result, then it disappears, but you still have the other one to work with at a high level. And then basically that is your new main stack for PEN Blackstar. And right now for us, that's the 231. We tried to get it higher, but unfortunately we couldn't. We lost our other fail stack. And now what you do if you want to continue pushing your fail stack is you do have to start back over at 110, get it back up to the point that your main fail stack is at, right? So I would go from 110 all the way back up to 230, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm at 195 on that character, you can see. And then once they get back to that even point again, then you can start the push. And once again, you're going to alternate. You're going to do a click on the main stack, click on the alternate, click on the main stack, click on the alternate. And you keep repeating this process over and over until once again, you succeed, you lose one of your fail stacks to a, you know, hopefully like a nice item, a PEN boss gear. So it's not a waste or anything like that. Like it's still a decent result, of course. But once you lose that stack, you now have your new main stack, which got pushed up however many levels you were able to get. And then if you want to keep going, you have to repeat the process again, start back at 100, get back up to your main stack, and essentially keep pushing. And you repeat this process basically as much as you want to. There's no like 100% right or 100% wrong answer. Like I said, like 230 is kind of the absolute minimum that I would click on PEN Blackstar. It's more ideal to get closer to 300. I'm really aiming for 260 to 280. But, you know, the more you do this better, the more you do this essentially, the better the price that you're going to give yourself for your PEN Blackstar clicks. And I understand that it's still RNG in the end. That's very important, as enhancing is. But you don't want to ever just assume that you're going to be the RNG carried one. It might happen. You never really know, but you want to put yourself in a situation where you're still making good decisions regardless of whether you're going to get RNG carried or not. And clicking on PEN Blackstar with the stack that's too low is going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to lose a lot of money unless you get super RNG carried, and you don't want to really rely on that. So no matter what you do with this method here, you're always going to have one fail stack level that's high. You're never going to lose your only high fail stack, which is a huge mistake that I see a lot of people do, and it puts you in the best scenario in the future to click on PEN Blackstar. Now, even if you're not considering doing this anytime soon, you might want to consider doing this sometime in the future, because it's going to take a while. We've been working on this for like a month plus now. And even with all the enhancing that I do, I've still only been able to get to this point right here. So like long-term goal, if you're ever thinking about clicking on PEN Blackstar, you want to start working on your fail stack much sooner than you want to start thinking about clicking on the actual Blackstar, because that's really a big part of the actual grind, is getting the right fail stack in order to do your clicks properly. So with that being said, I've thrown enough info in this video. I think I'm gonna leave it here before it gets a little too much. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you guys want to check out all the enhancing attempts and all that crazy stuff that we do, check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/salt. Links in the description. But if you enjoyed the video and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing, consider leaving a like. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, anything like that as well. I try to look at them pretty much every single day. And until next time, have a fantastic day, everyone.